and good to have you here. Another group of Nigerians has safely returned home from South Africa as anxiety continued to spread among African migrant communities ahead of a planned anti-migration protest that has fueled fears of fresh xenophobic violence. The latest evacuation flight landed at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos, carrying more than 60 Nigerian citizens, including men, women, and children who voluntarily chose to leave South Africa after weeks of growing uncertainty surrounding the safety of foreign nationals. Their arrivals marks the second phase of Nigeria's voluntary repatriation program, an emergency effort launched after increasing anti-immigrant demonstrations and online campaigns created widespread concern among thousands of Nigerians living across South Africa. Many of those who arrived had already spent several days waiting for transportation after their scheduled evacuation was delayed, leaving hundreds stranded and uncertain about when they would finally be able to return home. The first evacuation flight had already brought back more than 260 Nigerians after they registered with Nigerian authorities requesting assistance to leave South Africa. However, the second flight, originally expected to depart much earlier, was delayed because of logistical challenges, forcing many registered evacuees to remain in temporary accommodation while tensions continue to rise. Government officials received the latest returnees upon arrival in Lagos as part of ongoing efforts to support Nigerians choosing to leave South Africa voluntarily. According to Nigeria's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the repatriation exercise remains active, although transportation challenges have slowed the process. Officials confirmed that approximately 700 Nigerians who have already registered for evacuation are still waiting to be brought back home. Many of those waiting fear that time may be running out. The growing urgency is directly linked to planned anti-migration protests expected to take place on June 30th, a date widely circulated by several activist groups demanding the removal of undocumented migrants from South Africa. Although the demonstrations have officially focused on illegal migration, anxiety has spread throughout immigrant communities because previous waves of xenophobic violence in South Africa have often affected both documented and undocumented foreign nationals. Many African migrants say that once violence begins, attackers rarely distinguish between legal residents and undocumented immigrants. Instead, nationality, language, and appearance often become enough to make someone a target. That fear has intensified following weeks of anti-immigration campaigns, public demonstrations, and online messages demanding that foreign nationals leave South Africa. The atmosphere has become increasingly tense, prompting thousands of migrants from several African countries to begin making plans to leave before the planned demonstrations. Nigeria is not the only country responding to the situation. Several African governments, including Ghana, Malawi, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe, have also initiated efforts to assist citizens who wish to return home voluntarily because of growing security concerns. The Nigerian government maintains that its repatriation program is entirely voluntary. Instead, the program is intended to assist those who no longer feel safe remaining in South Africa or who simply wish to avoid the uncertainty surrounding the planned protests. According to the spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, logistical issues have delayed some evacuation flights, but authorities are working to prioritize vulnerable individuals, including women, children, and families who requested assistance earliest. For many Nigerians still waiting, however, Every passing day brings fresh anxiety. Some have reportedly traveled hundreds of kilometers from distant provinces to Johannesburg after receiving instructions to prepare for evacuation. Others have temporarily abandoned businesses and employment while waiting for confirmation that another aircraft will be available. Many fear that if June 30th demonstrations escalate into widespread violence, opportunities to live safely could become far more difficult. South African authorities have repeatedly appealed for calm. Police have increased security deployment in several provinces identified as potential hotspots, while warning citizens against taking immigration enforcement into their own hands. Government officials have stressed that only law enforcement agencies have the authority to verify immigration status and enforce immigration laws. President Cyril Ramaphosa has also condemned xenophobic violence while acknowledging public concerns about illegal immigration. Speaking during a national address, the South African president stated that illegal migration remains a serious challenge that requires stronger border management and improved immigration enforcement. However, he also rejected suggestions that migrants are solely responsible for South Africa's economic struggles. According to Ramaphosa, unemployment, poverty, and other social challenges cannot simply be blamed on foreign nationals. He emphasized that migration is a global phenomenon affecting many countries and reminded South Africans that their own nation has historically been shaped by migration. Despite those assurances, fear continues to dominate many migrant communities. For Nigerians preparing to board future evacuation flights, returning home is often an emotional decision. Many spend years building businesses, raising families, and establishing careers in South Africa before deciding that remaining was no longer worth the growing uncertainty. Some return with little more than personal belongings, leaving behind businesses, rented homes, and years of investments. Others continue waiting, hoping another evacuation flight arrives before tension escalates further. As June 30th approaches, attention now turns to whether South African authorities can successfully maintain public order and prevent another wave of xenophobic violence. For the hundreds of Nigerians still awaiting evacuation, the hope is simple: to live safely before fears turn into another humanitarian crisis. Their return serves as a powerful reminder that behind every evacuation flight is a family forced to choose between the life they build abroad and the safety they believe they can only find by returning home. And if you found this report insightful, do well to like, share, and subscribe. I am Kasituni, and many thanks for watching.